Augustus once said, "I found Rome a city of bricks and left it a city of marble." This statement is exactly what Creative Assembly did with Total War Rome 2, after the original success of Rome Total War, which came out in 2004. Now don't get us wrong, we loved the original Rome, but Rome 2 is truly a chiseled marble work of art. This new title in the Total War franchise continues the trend of being a turn-based strategy game with real-time tactical combat. If you're familiar with the Total War series, and with Rome in particular, this game will feel like you're driving a new model car with a crap ton of new features. At first, these additions may seem overbearing and scary, but once mastered, you'll love the fact that they're there. Each faction has its own playstyle, preferred tactics, and technology tree. Unless you're a true veteran, we recommend you play your first campaign on an easier setting to learn the new system. If you need practice with land or sea battles, you can still set up custom brawls outside of the campaign to test your might. In Rome 2, you can play against others online in ranked matches that use an elo system. Along with custom fights and ranked battles, Rome 2 kept historical bouts. Do you think Hannibal could have taken Rome if you were in command? Prove it. These fights give you the ability to rewrite history through your decisions and tactics. While combat feels similar in Rome 2, it has been simplified some for the user. Individual units have easy access to tactical buttons for information, ammunition types, and techniques. You can even scroll all the way out to have a top-down view to quickly and more efficiently command. The downside of this is that you don't get to witness the beautiful visuals of the mass murder that's occurring. There's nothing better than having your Athenian cavalry charge wedged into the back of a Spartan phalanx while in cinematic mode. Oh, and take all the screenshots. Cinematic mode puts you on the field of battle so you can see what your troops witness at the most key of moments. Sure, it's hard to command in this viewpoint, but it's totally worth it. The greatest struggle in Rome 2 comes with all the new functions in the overworld map of the campaign. Managing your population, happiness, tax, corruption, trade, diplomacy, agents, armies, and culture while keeping your foes at bay can be quite challenging. No one said ruling all of Europe would be easy. Depending on which faction you're playing, you'll either have houses or an autocracy. Family members and generals need to keep level. If they get too strong or too weak, they become problems. Sometimes you need to assassinate your own members to keep them from getting on their high horse and revolting. The knife may not be popular, but it's efficient. Deciding how to build your cities takes much planning. Sure, you can level your own buildings, but then you need to pay for the new ones. Are you going straight for economy? Do you want to influence culture? Is there too much civil unrest? The larger you get, the more complex the game becomes. Keeping tight trade agreements with other nations is key in keeping diplomatic relations healthy and the coffers full. Each faction is unlocked at the start, unlike past games. If you never want to play as Rome, you don't have to. We've played Rome 2 on 3 different machines, and even on the high-spec one, the time between turns in the campaign was brutal. There are so many factions that the game has to grind through, even when you don't show enemy moves. Sure, you go through a few a second, but there are that many that you feel it every time you press the end turn button. Even as you completely crush a certain faction, others arise at certain dates and time. If we had to pinpoint a single frustration in the game, it would be this feature. Compared to the original Rome, this is a true upgrade. The overall experience feels more customizable. The tech trees alone let you choose how aggressive or civil you're going to try to play, with 12 different paths you can go down. There are even non-conquest victories through research and culture advancement. While before the overmap seemed like a means to get from one battle to the next, it feels like a separate game now, which we're putting in the positive column. Each faction feels unique and plays quite differently. You can most certainly simulate your battles if you don't want to take the time for each one, or if you like to skip the minor ones. We're giving Rome 2 a 9. Simply put, if you're a Total War fan, loved Rome, or want to take up a new strategic challenge, we strongly recommend Rome 2. For the latest in gaming news, reviews, tips, cheats, and more, go to GameZone.com.